his team. He doesn't really care too much if you triple ban him, which most teams do, but he enjoys that he's able to free up his team to play other things.
Always a team player is there, even here in Champs League. And we are here into the draft for game number 1. Lissandra, that first ban that you mentioned, Twitch will follow as the standard ban versus OQ. Poor guy hasn't been able to get his hands on the rat except for a few select games, and with good reason. When he gets it, he usually destroys people. There's a Rise ban as well, so that champion, of course, reworked on the current live patch, but still in his old, very powerful form on this one.
Yeah, and there's still some experimenting to do on the live patch, but yes, still taken away. We haven't seen too much Vladimir either. It has been banned away. Azir is also something that could go through the draft. As yesterday, NRG, I believe they were banning away Azir and Vladimir in most of their series, but there was a series that it went, as if Vladimir went neither picked or banned, which was quite confusing for NRG because they had seen most of their success with GBM on that champion.
And on confusing, Gangplank actually, not a ban we see too often recently, but certainly a champion that GBM can be very potent with the hands in. Must have had some good results during the week where we couldn't see him play, but certainly a signature pick for him, as Envy will take that away for this first game. NRG now with a final ban. Do they take one of those big majors away, or do they have something a little more targeted in mind? They're out of time though. This ban's gonna have to come through, and it will be Malzahar.
So Malzahar against
the new strong mage
Ninja / Seraph, it could be flexed. I wouldn't put it past Seraph to actually play that champion in the top lane.
I'll give him credit for almost any champion, I think, in the top side.
Yeah, he plays all these champions. But still, final ban, Vladimir, Victor, Azir, both available. Talia still on the table as well. I'm always down for a good Talia.
Oh, I know. And we'll see if we'll get it in the mid lane. Hey, I am too. As NRG now going to consider their first pick. Definitely a ton of AP champions. Just in general, it feels like in the metagame right now, there are so many like first ban-worthy mages that kind of the 1.5 or tier 2 mages tend to slip through as well. As this happened yesterday. Looks like NRG going to have a bit more fun. We almost had it. Trolled the audience.
Yep, that champion select overlay had it locked in for a second, but still, regardless, yeah, you're right. A lot of mages in the meta right now control the mid lane, but there is one jungler that definitely rises above the rest. It's the Rek'Sai here that's been first pick quite often. Karma may go over to Envy because of this in the first round, and they've been favoring that champion pretty much every time they can get it, and it flexes between Ninja and Hakuo, but it's gone Ninja more often than not, I believe.
That's what I was going to think. I'm not too sure on the stat, but Ninja certainly has picked it up in a number of recent games. Rek'Sai, though, over to NRG is always good stuff. We'll see what Envy want to do here for picks 1 and 2. They've got a lot of room here to try and take some stuff away from NRG. Kind of knew what they were giving up, so curious to see how they approach the first part of this draft. Like we said, both these teams actually definitely have a lot of different options in draft, but mixed success as far as their different drafts have gone. But they'll keep it safe for now. Will Envy, Karma, and Azir are the first 2 picks.
Okay, that's a little interesting because they pick up the Karma and the Azir. They show that the Karma is definitely going to go towards the bottom side for Hakuo. The Azir for Ninja, I like that pick. I don't know if I like it this early because that just frees up energy to play Victor and like these other mages, because GBM has not been favoring Azir at all. I believe he's maybe played it once or twice, all split long.
It's certainly been a pick he's shied away from. GBM, again, like a lot of his teammates, has been kind of picking up some different champions, but they've been working out every now and then. Santorin, as always, wants to hover the Evelyn. Don't think has a game on it yet in this season, but certainly a pick he is known for. But GBM flushes us the Talon, probably just going to go for something nice and safe like the Victor, and yeah, we'll see what they settle on the other pick as well. Probably a support if I had to guess.
That, or maybe a high AD carry like the Sivir, so that they don't get Sivir and Karma. That would be the other option here, but I do think a Braum would also be a great pickup, so yeah.
And there's Braum for Kiwi Kid, does like his big playmaking supports. Victor over to GBM's hands, so pretty normal mid lane matchup so far. Team's not really giving too much away here, but Envy, if they want to take that Sivir, Lod has played it a number of times already this season, could maybe pick it up for himself here, and then all of the speed all of a sudden. You can do almost anything with a Sivir Karma comp.
Yeah, you can pick anything in the top lane that you want. Hey, Alawi's great too, right?
Maybe.
See if Seraph ends up pulling out that champion, but enabling the Azir, movement speed is just such a great stat to have in the middle of combat that there's a reason these champions are highly prioritized in the utility role for AD carry and in the support.
Kind of interesting to see AD carry go a little late though. A lot of other teams, especially towards the top, have been picking pretty early. As Proxen, hovering the Graves right now, I'd love to see him go back to it.
Yeah, I think he goes with the Graves here. You usually pick the Graves when you have a Karma or a Sivir on your team, just because his biggest weakness is getting up in people's faces and then being like, okay, well, I don't have anywhere to go after this, and I just fully committed. But with the movement speed, he's able to dip in and out, and once he gets closer, he's dealing more damage because more pellets are hitting.
Yep, and there's a lot actually going for Lucian, so it takes the more aggressive, carry-oriented pick in the bottom lane. No utility this time around, at least for game number 1. But Proxen, I think he's looked best when he's been able to be aggressive. Graves feels like the champion where he's most enabled to do so. This man loves to flash into people, especially on an aggressive AD carry like Graves.
Yeah, Proxen has had a lot of great carry performances in the past. I remember last week, Proxen was just playing his heart out, and he still wasn't able to carry the game, and had great scorelines all throughout his series.
There's Ashe though over for OQ, so pretty easy AD carry pickup. Going to mix things up just a touch.
Yeah, I actually think he was itching for the Lucian, and that's why it took so long, because they wanted the Lucian-Braum combination. It was broken up by Envy. Quas probably going to go with this, because he's been hovering Ghost the entire time in Champion Select. So I was thinking it's either Hecarim, or he's going to go with his Ghost Jax, which he's done so much.
Well, it is selected now, but Envy are going to give Seraph the counter pick. Probably not Teemo, but you never know.
Teemo is a counter pick to Jax.
Legit? Damn.
I'm just saying.
All right. I'll give him 40 seconds to decide if they do want to play Teemo. How about that? Again, Seraph has a pass on any first-time champion, I think. I will trust this man to play whatever he wants in the top lane, but I don't know if his team trusts him. And I am very trustworthy.
So, are you?
I put a lot of faith in my solo queue teammates. We'll put it that way.
Okay, okay. You're very trusting.
Yes.
Okay.
There we go.
I was like, trustworthy. No, I'm just kidding.
It's all right. I understand. The accent makes me feel... No, it's fine.
Yeah, it makes you exotic and foreign, and I don't know what to do with that. Still. Trundle comes through. Great pickup here. Makes a lot of sense. It's just going to be somebody who ends up slowing the other team and giving them some reach. So, disengaged allows you to keep your carry safe without fully committing onto something like a Maokai and not having split push. So, Seraph will try to answer Quas, and we'll see how that ends up working out for him.
Yeah, Trundle definitely feels like the top lane pick in a lot of ways. We've seen, Shen kind of running around as far as tank champions go, but a lot of the bruises and or split pushes have still been there, and Trundle kind of does it all. So, curious to see NRG give Quas a harder-esque carry in the top lane, but I think if he can get towards the mid to late game, he should be okay. Seraph, though, always looks good on almost any pick that he makes. Trundle is a great one for him. And Envy's draft in general looks super solid. NRG, though, again, they've sort of normalized a lot of their picks since the first few weeks of play. And I think OQ being on Ashe is a nice sign for him, because he has been struggling with more of his other carriers. Give him something that's, really strong, great utility that has been showing up for a lot of other teams as well.
Yeah, great range, lots of slows, lots of abilities to actually pick up people. I believe the pentakills that we've been seeing have been Ashe.
There's 2 Ashe pentakills.
So once you get Runaan's Hurricane and you're able to get into a fight and get your Q off, well, you're definitely going to devastate them. So that's basically the win condition they're going for here is Quas split push, but he has been joining the fights on Jax, so it's probably a 5-on-5 comp.
Probably, but while the teams load onto the Rift, hit us up on Twitter with who you think will win this series. Get the hashtag NRG win or the hashtag NV win in there, and we'll tally your votes as we move through the game. Game 1, though, about to get underway between NRG and NV. Both teams, as always, hungry for a win as we're pretty late into the season. Going to kick off day 2 of week 7.
Oh, yeah.
We heard it from the desk, though. Every game matters, not just the match wins here. And NV... Game 1 is a good sign for them, but NRG certainly been slumping a little bit.
Oh,
see if they can find some late season momentum here versus Envy.
And they've been slumping, but you can't let that be a downhill trajectory for you. You have to be able to reverse it right now, because Envy is going to be one of the easier teams that you're going to face in your schedule. Envy and CLG are the two for Energy that are closest in the standings. They don't play any team below them. They don't play even Apex, which is directly above them. So they're playing top 6 teams to close out their season, and this is as close as it gets here. And losing to P1 yesterday, you have to shake it off. You have to come in here fresh, and you have to be able to take down a team that you would have to take down in playoffs, so prove that you're in there.
Yep, we heard Lord talk about that on the Envy side. Mentality very important to reset game after game. Looks like both teams are just fanning out here, making sure they can spot each other in these neutral positions. Hakuho with a bit of damage, steals Kiwi Kid's money with the Spell Thieves as well. But we'll see if these teams want to make a move for any sort of late lane swap. Right now, they're just lined up for standard lanes. As Hakuho once again going to keep trading back and forth with OQ this time.
We'll see if it ends up being standard lanes, because there is some kill pressure for Energy because of the range of Ashe and able to harass out the 100 deficit from Lucian in terms of the range. But he does have a Karma.
Yep. And comes pretty good in the old lane, especially versus the melee support. So right now it feels like teams are going to line up for it. OQ hanging out by the Krog camp. He should start there. And Lod's already got that Gromp prepped up, waiting for Hakuho to come back after his recall. So we'll start things nice and normally. Jungler's even going to start on the same side of the map for us. So potential convergence point early on down towards the bottom side.
Yeah, and most likely looking for the 2-on-2 here for NRG because of the Ignite that Kiwi Kid has. Looking for some kill pressure there if they're able to actually get Lod, tag him, or Hakuho. And this bottom lane of NRG loves to play aggressive. They like to play like there's no jungler, and eventually that Ignite will transition into a Seraph stopping tool.
Well, you can see a little bit of trading early on in mid lane. GBM and Ninja are facing up. GBM very, very potent on Victor as Proxen doing something a little funky as we check in with the Keystone Masteries. I love it.
Yeah, the Thunderlord's Graves is completely about that burst. It's that initial, just get those Zerker Greaves first item, get in there, auto Q, maybe even reset your auto attack with your E, or just throw out your R and blow somebody up. It's a lot of unexpected damage.
Talked about already, Proxen, a very aggressive player. Quasto in a whole host of trouble as Seraph's going to look to take another bite out. Counter-Strike popped away. Good little trade back into Seraph, but Seraph hitting the early level 2 does get some advantage there in the top lane. Santorin, though, just going to take away that red. Looks like he's actually going to continue jungling here. Maybe even inspects Proxen's blue buff here as Rex has pretty quickly flown through the jungle.
Yeah, that's where he's headed right now. Going to go clean up the Scuttle Crab very quickly and then head over towards this. No, he's a ping out there from, I guess, Proxen. So no, not even going to check it, not going to walk by. He's going to go straight for the mid lane.
Oh, great flash there. Ninja actually tied up. That's going to force the flash again, and Ninja actually might not be out of this. Damage is there, and first blood goes to GBM.
Really well played there from Santorin. His route was perfect, and he was able to get level 3 off of the Gromp Wolves, then smite his backup for your third camp on the red. Cleans up the Scuttle Crab and then goes mid because Ninja's a little bit too far forward, and the cleanse isn't going to help him at all, so he holds on to it.
Yep, does burn the flash though, so Santorin can go for a revisit. Burnt his own flash in return, but GBM's going to have a nice leg up in the lane. Seraph and Quas trading back and forth. That tower doing bad things. The Ghost going to chase in. Seraph forced a flash, but the Ghost is going to keep Quas moving forward. Just needs one more hit, and there it is for a solo kill.
And NRG start off the game on the right foot there. Little bit of an oopsie there from Seraph, taking multiple tower shots and trying to just push his advantage, which now just gets turned around on him. And the Ghost from Quas, oh, that Jax. I mean, it seems like it's working out here.
Certainly does, as Proxen trying to answer back a little bit. Going to look to steal away this blue buff pretty much from GBM. Santorin doesn't really want it. Proxen, though, is going to successfully take that away. Santorin not quite there in time. Going to find out too late that that blue buff is gone.
Yeah, but he did get that early assist and kill over to his mid laner, so it's the least that really Proxen could do, is take away that blue from GBM, who's going to be already very happy with the fact that he got his Hex Core upgrade already. He's looking at Death Ray, level 4, already upgraded.
Yeah, actually a huge lead in this early stage of the game for GBM. Ninja going to have to play back. Has a second Doran's ring now after that first kill, so going to feel a little safer, but there's the damage on the backside. Ninja going to collapse the tunnel and just constantly playing back. GBM going to play up, and again, if Santorin revisits, especially if GBM hits level 6, should be an easy second kill onto Ninja if he doesn't play carefully. Santorin even maybe thinking about it again, but just taking the Raptor camp away for now. GBM happy to harass the gravity field there. Santorin is going for it. The knockup lands. He cleanses out, but that's a little late. No, he does get out.
Ooh. Santorin, don't believe he actually got off his E or his last Q there. Did get his E off, didn't get his last Q off. So Ninja able to slide away, didn't want to take another turret shot. And the kill gets away from them, but still they get the cleanse. Proxen now has to clean up the wave, and then Jungler is about a whole level ahead of your mid laner if you're Envy.
Yeah, and that's a big deal. OQ though, getting damage down to Hakuho. Every lane's starting to really explode for energy. As GBM is here, they're looking for a dive actually, and Lod not in the safest spot. GBM's only level 5, and they want it. Lod already ignited. Damage is there. Santorin's here as well. Lod's going to go down. Kiwi picks up the first one. Hakuho knocked up by Santorin. That's going to be another, and they trade the turret aggro. GBM, oh! He dies despite the heal, and now Proxen going to look to play cleanup. He finds the tunnel. Now Santorin's got nowhere good to go. He's going to take damage. Kiwi Kick going to try and cover, and that's just enough to save him. Tower hit, not enough.
And no way to TP into that because Quas is just stalking Seraph, holding on to his Counter-Strike. Even though he's getting shoved in, still doesn't give him an opportunity to reinforce his team, and that ends up being a fight for energy that goes in their favor again. 2 for 1.
Nice looking stuff from NRG. Centurion, we talked about it. He's been ganking all around, but now the whole team's coming to gank you.
Yeah, and that's when they seem to do best, is when GBM is giving the confidence to the rest of the team. And for Santorin, really well done there to get the tag off from Kiwi Kid. And hits Lod with the Q. I believe the Ignite is also on him. And the heal comes out, and oof. Yeah, when the turrets have nobody around, it will target the closest champion, which requires aggro. And GBM was just the closest by a smidgen there.
Scumbag Santorin got him killed, but should be okay for now. Seraph gonna pop the ulti in this 1v1 in top lane. Quas just gonna walk away from it and chug the potion. Trundle, relatively strong as always, despite the low items. As Kiwi Kid gonna have Hakaho face check straight into him. There's a stun landing in, but no chase down. Snare's gonna land in onto Braum, and Hakaho, sorry, is trading back in onto Kiwi. Does nail him with the last Q, gets him on the backside as well. But Proxen chasing Santorin out of his jungle now. Santorin wins that smite fight. Now GBM's going to cover for Proxen. Too far forward, ulted out from Victor. Proxen tries to ult out, and GBM blows him away.
Yeah, a little too fast there on the burst from GBM that Proxen doesn't have time to actually slide away R, and then he wanted to flash to get even more distance. But he just got him with the auto attack followed by the Q.
Starting to get real out of hand here for Envy already. 1,500 gold ahead for NRG, and the pace, something we haven't seen too often from NRG. Playing together and up and aggressive. GBM constantly leaving this lane, still 10 CS ahead of Ninja, despite some of the roams. And Envy feels like they just don't have a moment to breathe. Santorin even here in top lane. Seraph is forced off this tower.
Yeah. No reinforcement here from Proxen. Of course, Graves is pretty much just all damage, has no CC in his kit, really assist with the dive, or preventing the dive. The only thing is really a well-placed smoke screen that will dissuade it from happening. But overall, I believe all of the lanes are really winning here for energy.
Yep, up in CS in almost every single one, even now in mid. Boss is behind, but he's taking the Rift out, and he got a solo kill,
yeah,
so
solo.
Things not looking too bad. He's up in gold, I assume. Seraph trying to stop this, but I don't think he can do it alone. Ninja kind of in the area, but Rift Tower already dead. Quas picks it up, and Seraph too late to stop it.
Yeah, and Envy just look out of sorts right now. They look like they're getting just run around the map. Proxen on the opposite side. He's going to look for that red buff and already took it. So that's what he ends up getting, is Raptor can't that. But, gets the flash and the ghost.
Yep, good attempt. Proxen actually still here. GBM going to look to chase in Santorin. Someone in the area as Lod's supposed to flash out from under Kiwi's ulti. Hakaho going to tie him up, and OQ almost forces him away. Did burn the arrow, but good aggression from the NRG bottom lane.
Yep, looks like no exhaust available for Hakuo, and the heal coming up very shortly for Lot, so they might be able to actually all in afterwards since there's no flash on Kiwi Kid, and OQ does have both his summoners, but like the arrow, I like just throwing it out to get those summoners and get the flash out of Lod, because the next one he won't have a chance.
And that's been NRG's setting really for the first 10 minutes of this game. Ninja is going to go ahead and take the blue buff, but NRG are just constantly looking for plays in lanes. 5-1 up in kills already, and now 2,000 gold ahead. Things looking good in the early stages. GBM going to go ahead and get his blue buff this time around. Santorin's able to secure that for him. Proxen not here to steal it this time around. And just things keep getting better. I mean, it's not like the champion's going to get significantly worse as the game moves on, but having an early lead is always nice, and it's just been a good change here for NRG to see that, not that they're just playing aggressively, but they're doing it together.
And the fact that GBM is like helping roams is really effective. I remember yesterday when Energy really got it together in that game, I believe it was the third one, or the second game actually, where GBM was playing Rise and he rotated to the top side. He wasn't needed at all, but it gave Santorin the confidence to go for the dive. And we're seeing when GBM is able to have control of mid lane, then it really opens up the map. I know that he's one of the most vocal members for calling for ganks and what he needs. So when GBM is appeased, he starts giving to other lanes. So that's why they've been able to play through GBM. It's just the type of personality he is you give me resources and then I'm able to be a resource for the team.
Certainly a big personality and maybe a bigger carry as Quas back in onto Seraph. Seraph just eating damage to the face. Quas does not pop the ghost this time. Seraph with the ulti and the flashback available, but Quas just with that stinger winning the early 1v1 trades is good news once again for the top lane of NRG.
Oh yeah, and the fact that Jack scales so incredibly well, the Ashe on top of it and the Victor. Envy on the other hand, you do have the Lucian, it does taper off a little bit, and then you have just really good scaling from your jungler as well as your mid laner. So we'll see, scaling seems to be mildly in favor of Energy. I'll give it to them slightly, just ever so slightly, most because Jax is insane. I know Azir is pretty crazy too, but Victor can blow up people in the back line as well. Envy, and the point I'm getting at here is that Envy, they play really slow games.
Yes.
Right? So despite the lead that NRG have, Envy characteristically have been going for 40 minutes, getting to those late games. Their average game time is like 39 minutes, which is like 6 minutes above most, I believe, the average. It's very close.
Certainly in danger of potentially getting run over, though, so can't have that happen. As Lod pushed up to the turret once again, clearing out where he can. Centaurn looking for another gank on the mid lane. Tunnels in, gets the knockup, Proxen's here as well, but the burst is there from GBM. Nidra almost dying to the ulti as Quas and Seraph going for it once again. Seraph wins this round. And that's a solid kill answered back for him.
Yeah, I would be really interested to see what happened in that top side because Seraph, it looks like they both backed and they both got items. I have to double check that because Quas had Sheen when they fought, so yeah. And he has Rift Herald buff too, so that's actually insane that he was able to outduel him. But I guess the power of Trundle can't be overstated here.
You like free stats, Irene?
Yeah.
That's pretty much Trundle.
I like you paying for my stats. I'll take the stats and have you pay for them.
Well, of course, Foster in the TP makes his way back to top lane. Seraph with a nice little windfall there in the top lane, gets his own solo kill this time, and now goes back, grabs his Tiamat up in CS, although Quas is now catching up as he's met the wave there in the top lane turret. Ninja trying to push out what he can, GBM continuing to apply that pressure. And another redive could spell doom for Ninja. Didn't burn Summoners in the last attempt, but Envy had to pull Hakuho out of bottom lane to assist in the defense of the potential gank. Proxen also stalking around the area as Centaurion's just free to take his buff away.
Well, he's not completely free. Here comes Seraph. Seraph is coming over the wall.
Not free at all, actually. Centaurion about to give Envy a little bit of value. Arrow hits Lod, though. Kiwi Kid chains it in. Oku, though, exhaust down for Hakuho is really nice, and the Cullen's going to turn it around. Blocked, though, by Kiwi Kid's Unbreakable. Is Envy maybe looking to chase? Just a trade of ultimates, though. Everything's still fine in the bottom lane.
Yeah, just trading the ultimates back and forth, fishing for the arrows. I like it because the flash is down. But this right
Here's
here.
what happened.
So we got the Rift Herald off. Counter-strike. Pops him a little bit.
Trundle.
Seraph popped the ultimate, and oh my god, it hurts. A lot.
That was just Trundle. Just Trundle things there on that one.
Yeah. Nobody expected that. Quas was just like, oh my god. Seraph may have expected it, but it was it's one of those things where you fight, you damage check, and you go, wait a second.
I'm no longer winning. But then it was unfortunately too late. Seraph, good awareness of the matchup. Quas going to have to wait a little bit to start scaling. Trinity Force almost there, so that will be a nice little jump for him in power. But Seraph right now appears to have control of the 1v1 at this stage. Ninja also picked up a Nasa's Tooth. Speaking of early item spikes. But GBM well on his way to that quick Rylai's, already has the 2 Hex Core upgrades as well. So with the Runins down for Oku, NRG looking poised to take advantage of that 2k lead that they've still maintained. Haven't quite moved it to objectives just yet. All square on Drakes, all square on turrets. Things still looking relatively even despite the lead here almost 15 minutes in.
Yeah, and most of that lead is on GBM, and then it's scattered throughout with like 200 here, 200 there across the members. But GBM is like a solid 1,200 up over at Ninja. Nice block there from Proxen. Gets Ninja the blue buff, so having that Azir with it very early on is very beneficial, but probably going to lose the turret for it.
Yeah, here's that gold lead that GBM has sort of manifesting there in the mid lane, able to take out a very key turret. Rare to take Azir's turret this early, but NRG break open the center of the map, and now Quas actually getting aggressive with that Glimpse of the Void. Will do good damage to this turret, might even take it depending on how late Seraph arrives here. So still such a satisfying sound. Quas gonna stay here for a bit of extra damage. Good leap strike over the pillar. Gets him clear of Seraph's potential aggression, and Envy just trying to answer here in the bottom side. They'll look to take this Ocean Drake. NRG not in position, but they're gonna try and trade a turret, it looks like.
Yeah, they're gonna go straight to the top side. GBM is here, Santorin is here. And it's honestly 4 people on the top side of the map. It may be a little bit of an overcommitment here because you probably don't need Kiwi Kid there. But the fact that they see him clearing out that pink ward that was in the bush, I believe, they're just gonna go straight towards the bottom side with 3 members and get a turret to answer.
GBM again, just trying to move his way out. Throw himself in the top lane. MB, though, will actually get a trade, so they're up in objectives total on this little exchange, as they got the Ocean Drake for themselves out of the deal. But NRG still up in mid turret's important, as Quas is going to get stopped. Seraph fancies another fight. He's got Titanic Counter-Strike activated, but Seraph just going to dodge out of the way and leave it be for now.
Yeah. This is really Seraph's window to actually look for a 1v1, despite Quas having a level up on him and having his second rank of his ultimate. It's more about he doesn't have Trinity Force.
Unspent gold hurting Quas a bit here. Seraph fancies himself, but there's a minion wave to get Quas out of the way. Cancels the recall, so will buy himself additional time. But the CS lead there still for Quas. Got some gold off the turret that NRG just took. And he'll complete that recall and should probably be stronger with the Trinity Force now completed. I'll defer to your expertise.
Probably stronger now. Yeah, definitely stronger with the Trinity Force completion, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to hold this turret, because you can see 4 members of Envy. They're going for a super late lane swap style here, where they're just getting these outer turrets with their AD carry and support, as well as bringing along this hefty jungler that just decimates turrets when he gets right up next to him.
There is that turret when taken down. Quas actually shouldn't be there. Now going to get peeled up. Now flashball from Hako going to try and snare him. Ghost out of the way, but is it enough? Exhausted again. Looks to counter-strike. Gets 3 off of it. And now GBMC looks for the ulti. Finds it onto Hako. Damages there. Quas leaps back in. GBM gets the first kill. And Lonz is getting destroyed by GBM. There's the double in for Victor. Proxing going to go down as well. As NRG flip it on its head and pick up 4 kills for themselves.
Are you kidding me? That's a 4 for 0. And now they get to push the bottom side of the map. NRG with a huge win there over Envy, who picked that fight.
And that's rough stuff there. Envy often thought that they've played very well reactively, and that was a good reactive play to keep themselves even on the trades. But NRG say, you know what? Enough of this.
Yo, man. Quas is just like, oh, everybody's here. He has Ghost, so he pops it, but he still gets rooted, and then the counter-strike, and they want to run away from him, but he's even exhausted, and he's moving so quickly because of the Ghost. The triple stun stops the damage, and then GBM over the wall with Santorin reinforcing him. 3 on 3, and then they clean them up. 3 on 4, and they win. It's a 3 on 4.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Ninja way too late to the party, so couldn't even be there for cleanup duty. I believe GBM had Rylai's in that fight, but if he didn't, he does have it now. This Victor, so insanely strong at the early stages of the game, and he's doing it. Cooldown boots and the Sheen. He's going Lich Bane. GBM wants to kill some fools.
Oh yeah, he wants to blow up some structures, wants to blow up some people. It's going to be all around just a fantastic build for him here to get those auto attacks off, and he's been weaving them in quite frequently, and he's been doing a great job. And Ninja with the dodge.
He's a very good Victor player, as it turns out. Ninja, though, does escape that tricky situation as NRG continue on the offensive, up 5,000 gold, actually. A very nice little lead under the 20-minute mark, and you can see that gold difference in mid lane. 2,000 up for GBM, continuing to grow his lead as Quas now able to threaten Seraph 1v1.
Well, everybody's looking to threaten Seraph
True.
now on the map.
Got the blow to the face. After the Winter's Bite lands, Seraph is going to get stunned up. He's relatively tanky. He's burned the ultimate to try and live, but GBM, in fact, unstoppable. 6-1 and 3 now on the Victor.
And they're just playing so well right now around GBM. Santorin visited his lane very early on, and that got GBM ahead and gave him the confidence.
Oh, Ninja. That's not what you want to be. Proxy going to try and take out GBM. Santorin here to cover. GBM getting low, but he almost burst him down. Proxin is going to fall as Oku makes the rotation. Ninja tagged up as well. NRG, do they commit more?
I think you do. I think you get this top turret because you see Lot on the bottom side continuing to split push. OQ will stay, Santorin will stay, Kiwi Kid will try to zone, and Jax is going to back as well as GBM and try to stop this turret from going down. They'll have to watch it and check the DPS on it. But, oh, Santorin. Yeah, okay, so Santorin's going to be the one to answer it.
It's 1v1 right now.
Yeah.
Lord burns the culling, runs away, but Santorin's pretty strong.
He stops the turret from going down, and that's the big thing there is because they get the top tier 2 on Energy, but Envy don't get the answer on the bottom side of the map. So overall, Energy is just playing so crisp right now.
And that's a good word for it. Crisp is really evident here in the first 20 minutes. And Envy just look like they don't know what to do with all the pressure that Energy are just throwing at them. We talk about that they are a slower team. They play very well together. They're really cohesive as a unit when they're moving around the map and playing their deliberate game. But when you just kind of get punched in the face, not a whole lot of options left. And that's kind of what Energy have done here. Almost 7,000 gold up.
Yeah. You get kind of flabbergasted when that happens. You're just like, what happened? So I think that the big thing here that Energy's been doing is Santorin visited the mid lane early. Now you look at the kill participation for both Santorin and GBM compared to everybody else. Well, they only missed out on the solo kill that Quas got. That's the only thing they missed out on. Whereas you look at the bottom lane, well, 3 out of the 11 or 3 out of the 10 if we're discounting that solo kill. They've been in everything except for that. Like, they've been incredibly active. They've been attached at the hip, and they've been moving around the map in tandem.
And we talked about it. Santorin's been playing great all season long, it felt like, but he kind of needed another partner in crime. Well, maybe he's found one. New life in GBM. Still looking good here. Envy trying to gank him. They need to shut down the Victor. Ulti's going to move Kiwi Kid back in, but GBM's going to blow up Ninja on the other side. Heals not going to save him as GBM not dominating. Ulti in! Gravity field there! GBM with a double kill. Hakuho is going to go down as well. There's a triple for GBM, and NRG pick up 4 kills, and Proxy going to get himself chased down. There's the ace, NRG.
It's a clean ace for NRG, and they are right by the Baron. GBM, that was an insane gravity field and ultimate. Everybody walks on top of it too. It's in the middle of the chaos, and then the follow-up was just on point from NRG. And we talk about game record mattering a lot. Well, pressure is starting to heat up for P1.
And there's 11,000 gold up now for NRG as well. Watch this again. Just such an aggressive force for Envy. They had to do something.
Yeah, it's being turned around on them every time. GBM gets the flash away. The arrow hits, but look at this. That was a really good gravity field. But the pillar from Seraph actually helped them out because the pillar went down and stopped some of the members from taking the route that they wanted. It's their own pillar, so it's not slowing them, but it still stopped them and put that little extra fraction of a second on there so that they got stunned by the gravity field, and then they all got pulled in.
Well, NRG gonna relax for just a moment. They did pick up Baron. GBM's gonna get blue buff. They'll collect the Ocean Drake for themselves, but this is an almost insurmountable lead. GBM has decided that no one will collect my bounty today. He's got a Guardian Angel. Just skipped his Lich Bane entirely.
He'll get it eventually. He's just delaying it for now. That Guardian Angel, though.
I'm the carry. Protect me.
It's the most annoying thing in the world when another team, when your opponents are ahead and they get a Guardian Angel third item. It's very frustrating because you feel like your chances of winning just got way lower. Even if it was like a Void Staff, this is still a worse item to see because you know that his damage is already way higher than your own. You know that he has the potential to blow you up regardless. And if you shut him down, you have to deal with him twice.
Well, smart buy there from NRG, but they are not done on the siege. They've got Baron, they may have caught Santorin, but damage output not really there. He's pretty tanky, loses about 40% of his health, but Ninja taking damage from GBM and almost just gets himself killed for it. NRG a little too far forward, but carries a chunk here, and that tower goes down. Oh, Narrow lands in, Ninja goes down, he gets sniped by a death ray. NRG just busts through the middle.
They pick up the inhibitor in the inhibitor turret, just like that. And you can see Envy, 2 kills. That's all they have to their name. One of them was the solo kill from Seraph. And then, Almost. They're just going to keep sieging here, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, this house is going to break down. Envy just don't have anything to defend with right now. Bottom inhib's going to fall soon. The turret just explodes in front of their eyes. And Envy, you never want to call a game over, but this is awfully close. Envy, you have to think, you know what? That mentality Lord talked about, better be there, because you are going to game 2.
Oh, yeah. You're going to go to game 2 with a game deficit. And Envy, we talked about how when they lose 2-0. I have to actually triple check it, but I believe they don't beat their opponents and then end up going and losing the series. So right now, Envy, they just seem to be struggling.
Certainly in this first game. NRG just come out of the gate swinging. Clearly took their loss pretty hard yesterday.
Yeah. GBM is just like, I carried, let's go. Yeah. Everybody in my backpack. Hey, Santorin, help me out. Help me lift, you know? He's spotting him. That's all it is.
Very impressive he can fit a Rek'Sai in his backpack. But that seems to be what he has. Has an extra Giant's belt as well, reinforcing the idea that if I do not die, I will carry.
Yeah, it's basically, can God create a Rek'Sai he can't lift? Apparently not. He can just do it. Every time.
Well, NRG is going to do this old school. Plus, actually pops that Nexus turret for a good chunk of damage. Got a Frozen Mallet added as well, so anyone gets caught, they're going to probably get chased to the ends of the earth and all their Nexus. Proxen trying to dodge out of the way. Santorin knocks up Ninja as he's going to get taken out as GBM collects another kill for himself. And MV scattered to the wind as NRG going to move in for the kill.
Yeah, they're going to start going for these Nexus turrets. They don't need that last inhibitor. They're going to start trying to end the game right here with 16k advantage.
Yeah, this Nexus is going to go down. NRG will take game number 1. No bow tie, but still all class. GBM and NRG take game number 1.
And only give up 2 kills, 1 in the solo kill top, which was just a miscalculation, and then the bottom kill that went over to the support of Hakuho, and it was just that 2-on-2. So NRG bouncing back from honestly like 12 hours ago, less than 12 hours ago.